What on earth is that? It's a Journey into Comics Network production! All aboard!
I brought my pencil!
Yeah! Like you never get to say like you did before. Make it ring, make it bleed, make it really.
What's up, Deuterinos, and welcome back to Rank 'Em All, that show where we take a bunch of songs, a bunch of albums from an artist, or bands, or musicians of some sort, and we rank them all. We get every single song, every single album down the line. We are down the track here with another Alice in Chains episode, Music Bank. We're looking at now. What are we doing here? We already kind of told you in the last episode, which you haven't, the Unplugged episode. Go check that out. Bonus episode for sure. But a goodie. This one, Music Bank. There's a lot of cool songs that are on this that are unreleased demos. Some alternate songs that never got released, and then a couple of new recorded songs. So typically, when we do rank them all in the past with like Metallica or Van Halen or whatever, there's been like some extra songs that they did maybe for a soundtrack like Twister or Mission Impossible, or maybe a rap album, with Metallica and Swizz Beatz or something. Or covers, we did a whole cover album with some extra songs. Alice didn't really have like they have some demos and stuff, but like it's harder to find these songs, but they put them all in one big collection for us, just like Metallica did with the Garage Inc. So this is basically kind of our compilation songs of songs that never really got released. We're going to dip our toe into this one. This is Music Bank. Check out our socials. You'll see the list of songs that are new. But by all means, this is also a compilation of some of their better songs all throughout their career. It's worth another trek. Trust me, there's a few songs in here that I did just kind of let it play, and I kind of forgot I was ranking new songs. But that's how good some of those songs are. But before we get any further, we got to introduce everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Brando, and joining me, as always, is the Podfather, Nate Phillips.
It feels good to be back, you crazy motherfuckers. That's all I got. I'm just happy to be. I'm happy to be here.
The silence was all of us getting murdered by Nate's super aggressive motherfuckers. Remember that lady before the pandemic that was like condemning all of humanity?
And trying to help
the
you.
Walmart. Yeah, that I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Yeah,
she was just going on like a spree terrorizing local Myers. Like,
oh, that's what it was. It was Meyer. I forgot. Fuck yeah.
Like literally, as soon as Nate said "motherfuckers," I heard a loud crash. So if you're watching on YouTube, which you guys should, go and like and subscribe to our YouTubes and watch videos, because you'll just see my eyes go.
Unleashing chaos.
Not sure if I need to go look at that or not. I'm gonna sit here until I hear the words "help." So we are not alone here. You've already heard the lusty, sexual voice of Tyler McLaughlin, the stepdad of the Journey into Comics Network.
I'm dressed like one today.
You are.
You're dressed like you're going to talk to Dodgson and collect some dinosaur embryos.
I would like to buy your dinosaur embryos, sir. I will give you.
You didn't say the magic word.
No, I'm doing good, man. Like always, life doesn't just find a way; it finds the way to get in the way. And with the holidays and everything, like always, we've been busy. So
that would have been a great introduction for the devil put the dinosaurs here, and we didn't. We just were too early. Damn it!
Check out Jurassic Park Dominion, out next week.
Oh yeah, that's excellent. Out 6 months ago.
Oh, womp womp.
Also
I'm excited
here.
to be back.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Sorry.
excited. No, by all means. We're a little out of practice, but also here, the one and only Buckles.
Hi, how you doing? I'm here. Yes, I'm here. I'm doing well. I'm just currently, I'm always on my last brain cell at this point, so it's just kind of
Is it like the monkey with the symbols?
It's just slowly slowing down. Yes, it's that one brain cell that just kind of hangs out by itself in a dark room, going, there were other people here.
I like how on video, again, if you're listening on audio, we thank you for subscribing and listening, but you totally missed the miming, if you will, of our one Tyler committing seppuku.
I deserved it.
I deserved it.
I deserved it. Let's be honest.
Guys, it's good to be back here on the show. This is the very last anything of Lane Staley
Oof.
that we're going to be touching on here. It's definitely, Buckles, you kind of said it before we started. This is kind of a weird hodgepodge of new stuff coming from the band. I mean, and it truly is. Like, this stuff is a big, huge compilation of demos. There's a live song in here. There's a couple of there are 4 new songs and 2 new ones that were recorded for this album that were originally written for Jerry Cantrell's Degradation Trip album. So we got a couple of new songs. So we got some new stuff with Lane. But unfortunately, unless I'm mistaken, this is the last Lane Staley recordings with Alice that we have.
Yeah, I'm looking it up to double check. Pardon me, but
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
Of course, Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell, Lane Staley, Mike Starr, to Sean Kinney. Mike Inez is on some of this tracks because, as I said, this is a big compilation. So, like, this has stuff. It has the song with Chris Cornell, the one with Ann Wilson. All the stuff is on here, like really cool stuff. There was only one single from this. It was one of the new songs that they did, and yeah. So if you guys go to our socials, you will see the the song tracks that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing 10 songs. And what's interesting about this, because this is a 3-disc set. So like we literally have a big compilation of stuff going from 88 until like 98 somewhat. But what's up, Nate? What's going on with you? You raised your hand.
I have 11 songs that I have ranked, so I fucked up somewhere, but I went off your list, bro.
All right. Well, maybe it is 11 songs. Maybe I'm miscounted.
You said 10, and I was like, "Uh-oh, I fucked up."
Well, it is 92. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah. So my bad, guys.
Okay.
It's 11, not
Thank you.
10. I mean, maybe you could X one out of there and make it 10. I feel
My
like
heart was just like, I ranked an extra ton song.
I only ranked 10. What one did I skip?
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Live on the air.
Oh,
I've got 11 here. I've got 11.
It's like fucking bingo for rank 'em all. I got 11. I also have 11. I have 10.
Oh, I see which one. Okay.
Yeah.
All good. All
Just
good.
put your Spotify premium on.
Crisis averted. But guys, let's just dive right into it.
Do it.
The first track is called "Get Born Again." That is one of the new songs that was recorded for this in '98. So I do believe that at least that one was released on something else.
I was going to ask if there was anything released as a single from this because I recognize this from somewhere.
Yeah, I do too, but this wasn't the single. The single was another song that we're going to rank on it in just a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys know which one that is. But this one definitely sounded familiar to me, but I couldn't really place it. It was released on Nothing Safe, The Best of the Box. Best of the Box, Man of the Box, I get it. That is a 15-track best of, which features Get Born Again, an unreleased demo of We Die Young. So, guys, what we did do here, guys, I want to be known that we did not rank any demos of songs that were already released.
Right.
We didn't kind of double down on that. We're only doing demos or songs that were on soundtracks or that were demoed that never did get put on any previous thing. Or maybe they were on a single and we missed it. I don't really recall them having too many singles when we went down those album rankings.
Right.
Unlike some other bands where they have like, here's our single with a B-side demo. Sometimes they do that, but I don't really think that they did too much of that. But Get Born Again, guys. I'll go first on this one. I got to quietly here and quickly pull up my notes and Get Born Again.
Connotes? How are you spelling that?
Knots.
Don't ask.
O-T-E-S. Connotes.
I feel like that's knots, sir.
Knots. Well, it's actually notes. Because if you go K-N-O-T-O, or wait.
Kanoto.
Anyway.
This is not spelling bee 'em all.
Kanotos.
Spell them all.
Your word is hypochondriac.
This song's moody. Starts off a bit moody, though. I will say, like, coming off of Unplugged, it's a little bit unfair. I'm not judging these. So the new songs, Get Born Again, Died. I'm not judging them based off of Unplugged because Unplugged is its own special bit of a wrapped up present. But if you want to compare it to what had come before with the self-titled, the vocals instantly sound so much better.
Right.
The one thing that we kept talking about on the self-titled record was they just kind of doubled Lane's voice, and he sounded very dreary throughout a lot of that record.
Right.
And it just didn't work as well as the harmonies that Jerry and Lane would do. But I also think this is a better song than the doomier stuff that's on the self-titled. But I also kind of feel like, and you might hear me say this a couple more times, there might be a reason why this hasn't been released.
Yeah. Even throughout the 10, 11 singles, I'm going to say 10, 11, throughout the 11 songs that we're ranking here, you can tell why a lot of them didn't get released, why they didn't match up with the rest of their albums. Like some of these songs wouldn't fit on one of the other albums. And like some of them, you can even tell, like, if you think about it, like when was this actually written and recorded? Like some of this sounds like early stuff. Like some of this sounds like Facelift.
Yeah. This is one of the newer songs that was released. So like you're definitely going to hear, like, maybe in some of the demos we're going to do, like, man, this is a little bit of a different story. But when I look at my rank for this one, nothing on here mostly is inherently bad.
Right.
It definitely is a step up of sorts from self-titled, but some of the stuff is just kind of like, well, it's not bad, but it's not necessarily getting into their greatness that we know that they can do. TY, we want to add anything to Get Born Again?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's kind of, I like a lot of what you and Alex both said, coming off of the Unplugged and, previous to that, pretty much the peak of Lane Staley, Alice in Chains. And then you get to this, and it's kind of like, we were talking about painting earlier, and it's like, well, when you see artists paint in other famous artist styles, and you get to see a totally different perspective. I think it's very similar to that with this, because it's just like, hey, let's talk about the stuff that nobody else has heard,
Mm-hmm.
Some notes that I had, or that I wrote down, and I wrote these down on first listen, and then I've reviewed them, and at least for Music Bank, I've pretty well kept them the same. First thing, and this is actually, for me, has been pretty consistent with a lot of the less popular stuff. The song's too damn long. So yeah. I think it's too long. And I think the tempo is a little too slow, but I did really enjoy the intro.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like it's really jangly at the start, and I really like that, like the kind of chuggy. There's the menace and the menace that they're kind of known for, and like the harmony in the beginning is really, really good.
And that's what I was gonna say. You know, it didn't feel totally. It didn't feel like totally something different. And I feel like maybe if this was a song that was filtered in some of the previous albums, you know, maybe one of the mid tracks that maybe it would have got, you know, that maybe it would be something that not necessarily was listened to more, but something that would be a little bit more recognizable.
I like that there's a little bit less on the drone. Like there's a lot of droning in the self-titled album. And there was a distinct lack of that to start this off. Only problem, I would have ranked this higher, except like the last third of the song just drops off a cliff. Like it's really good and aggressive, and all of a sudden it's just repetition and drone for like the last third.
Yeah,
it just kind of ends.
What were you gonna say, Brandon?
To add to what I said about the vocals instantly sounding better, they do sound better, and I agree with Buckles. Like the harmony instantly, it's way more pleasing to the ear. You know, I know, and we talked about on the self-titled that Lane kind of took a more of a self approach to a lot of vocals and harmonies, and maybe that's just what he was going for. Unfortunately, and as much as I love Lane, it just didn't work for me because it almost sounds like he's, like you said, droning on, and it kind of sounds uninspired. Okay, so the vocals here sound a little bit more inspired, but unfortunately, and this happens again, it's like, wow, this sounds better, and then the vocals almost don't really do it for me anyway, based upon what they do. Not necessarily how they sound, but the flow of the vocals isn't what I necessarily like about the song, even though I like the riff, even though I like the tone, even though I like the bass line or something in there. Like there's nothing in here that makes me like cringe. I mean, maybe there's a song coming up here that might make me cringe, but there's nothing like self-titled here. It's just a bit different. Nate, do you got anything to add to what we've already trampled upon on this song?
A couple just quick thoughts. First of all, this what we're ranking today, I thought was very interesting. We are essentially seeing, you could almost call this like the reunion album of Alice in Chains that we never got, right? So envision that it's like 10 years later and they're not as prominent, and they put this out, and this is the first you're hearing of them. Immediately, I'm like, oh, okay, like they're fucking dope. They're in this cool like groove pocket. They actually have a lot of, harmonically speaking, there are so many vibes that made me think Load, Reload, Metallica in the music, not necessarily in the vocals, more in the music and the production thereof, right?
Yeah,
I can see that.
So really, I get why they did the droning at the end, but I also agree with Alex about it. It was so dope when it gets so heavy. The song has such amazing angular parts to it that just shift, and you're like, oh, that's so good. But then they kind of down it out. But I still was really a huge fan, and I'll lead off those ranks. I gave this one an 8.5, man. I liked it.
8 is an 8.5. What about you, Buckles?
7.25. It probably would have been a 7.5 or 7.75, but that last third just kind of killed it for me.
TY.
6.75.
I'm in agreement with Buckles. I give it a 7.25. The next song is a demo from 1988, and you can kind of tell.
Okay. Yes, very much so.
From when? What year?
88.
I did not realize it was from 88.
88.
Okay.
Oh,
that absolutely makes sense.
We have 4 songs that we're ranking that are from 88, and let's just say that this is different. This is completely different.
Well, let me say that, like, honestly, the comment I made a minute ago where some of this sounds like it could have been on Facelift. A lot of the comments I have regarding a few of these songs, knowing that they're from 88 now, makes a lot more sense because my comments are about the same as they were for Facelift. And that is the fact that the first comment I have of this is, holy Guns N' Roses, Batman. Like this is a GNR song.
Well, that's not the last time you might hear that being said.
That's absolutely true.
I wrote, it's clearly a demo. It's not as polished as it could be, and it's a little goofy. And while it's not
poppy,
it's poppy, but it's not the standard AIC that that we would come to know and love from like the Dirt and the, Jar of Flies era and all that kind of stuff. But I prefer this any day to that one hidden song that we refused to that was just a mess. That, like, if they're gonna be goofy, I would prefer this goofy over that goofy.
I got to figure out what the song that was now. I always remember it.
You know what? I have maybe on the last episode you'll be able to convince me to slap a rank on it. That way it doesn't bring anything else down with it. Because it was that bad.
Love song off the Sap.
There it
Yep,
is.
love song off the Sap.
People listening to this week by week is like, guys, you just did that like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, how do you guys not remember? The guys, this is taking a long time for us to get this done and do this. We all have lives. We all have work. It's crazy times. We have those. I believe that 90s cartoon, the Rugrats, called it sponsor billeries. We have a lot of those.
I got some sponsor billeries.
Responsibilities.
Buckles, do you have anything else to add to the I Can't Have You Blues? I actually didn't say the name of it. The I Can't Have You Blues is the name of this one.
Honestly, my notes were, wow, crazy start, holy Guns N' Roses. Seriously, this is a Guns N' Roses song, right? I dig it, but it's not Alice in Chains.
All right.
Like this is very much them finding their footing of what they're wanting to do and going, this isn't it. It's fun to play. It's not a bad song. I enjoyed the song, but this is not an Alice in Chains song.
Nate.
Totally agree with the GNR sentiment. It was my first thought. I almost wrecked my car when I first heard I was like, oh my God, what is happening? It was so good. But honestly, I kind of, again, maybe Alice in Chains has just made a bigger fan out of me than I expected, but big love for this song, again, for different reasons. I love that there are different layers to the song. You have it goes from like a softer thing to a more traditional like rock bluesy vibe and shit like that. Like the vocals do a lot of different things, so it's them just putting a lot of their different ideas together into a song. And especially musicians, the three of us have all like just thrown some shit together and see what happens. Like sometimes that's what you do.
Yeah.
And it didn't work terribly. It just isn't the greatest song.
Like, you got to think about it again. If this is 88, this is them all coming together. And what happens when you're young and you're coming together as a band? You're still learning what you're doing. A lot of your shit sounds like other people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your shit, you'll play it and you go, hey, I just ripped off whatever band. And you can say, well, maybe they were listening to a lot of Guns N' Roses at that point, which 88 would have made sense.
Sure.
So, again, I don't hate it. It's not a bad song. It's just not at all what I would expect from them.
TY, what you got for me?
In my notes, and I'll be brief just because you guys have pretty much touched on everything. I mean, how could you not immediately think Guns N' Roses, like you guys all said? I put too much at first, not much improvement throughout. I mean, yeah, at first I was kind of into it because it's so bluesy in the beginning, and obviously it's got the title, and then it just like I'm tired of listening to it at about 50 seconds in. And it's like I'm trying to not be like overly critical, but I gotta be honest, I didn't love it.
I didn't either, but I'm anxious to know your rank, TY.
I'm coming in at a 6.25.
And Buckles.
I actually gave it an 8. Like, again, just on the virtue of the song itself, I didn't hate it, but if I'm listening to a Guns N' Roses like mix or something, I'd probably throw it on there, but not when I'm listening to Alice in Chains. So.
For me personally,
understandable.
It's just it's too uncomfortable for me.
Nate, are you comfortable?
7.75.
So I thought he said 7 and then changed his answer like mid-sentence, like 7. No, wait.
4.1.
4.129.
I thought he was introducing a like Sylvester Stallone movie halfway through that. Like just in a world.
Far from
in a world.
So guys, y'all know me, and like I don't venture out of the norm. I don't do the Nate weird ass rankings that he tends to do sometimes. But I did on this one because I gave this one originally a 7.25, but kind of thought it lacked something, so I just gave it a 7.2.
I mean, you're the one doing the math here, so
Well, no, Google Documents is doing the math.
that's fair.
All I do is I buy push number. Brando is like one step away from Gorilla Grodd here. The next song, another demo from the '88. What you gonna do,
Brother?
Thank you.
The second song from the '88 demo songs. It's obvious they're in early stages trying to find out who they are. That's exactly word for word. We've already said it. I feel like the next songs are going to be exactly what we said already. Very GNR again.
Yes.
And we said that about Facelift. There's several songs on there that are very GNR-y. But to be fair, probably the ones that are on there are probably the better ones than here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But yeah, I didn't hate it. Nate, I'll let you go first this time.
Oh, I get to go first on what you gonna do, brother. So this song is really basic. There's not a lot going on. The chorus is catchy. You definitely get yourself stuck in there. Hey now, baby, like it just gets in there like it's a fucking ear cancer and you can't get it out. Like it's just stuck. But no, like they're definitely figuring their footing out. This is a song that it was a demo and it never got further. I mean, I'm sure if they maybe polished it out and decided to change the lyrics entirely, musically speaking, it's pretty sound. But
so basically, if it was a different song, it'd be better.
I mean, I didn't say it like that. I mean, I'm just saying lyrically, they could have done something different, and it would have been a little, not the whole. If a whole different song was here, it would be better. I did not say that. But yeah, that's where I got. I will say, hold on. There's one thing I will say though. They do have that weird like bridge breakdown in the song. That is GNR again. Like it's you're fucking GNR, bro. Like Axl Rose in the building. Hello. Slash show up and wank off on Jerry's guitar or something. What was happening? I'm confused. Yeah.
TY.
TY's on his phone.
Sorry about that. No,
It's okay.
sorry. I had to send a message. So, for me, it don't get no better. Just 1 second. Thank you. Sorry for the dead air time. Got babies and stuff doing stuff. We've God, I had a stroke just now. We have stepped outside the bounds.
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
We have stepped outside the bounds of Guns N' Roses and 80s hair bands because now we're talking to Motley Crue. You cannot tell me that you guys didn't feel like you were listening to like a Motley Crue cover band play some of their original content. This song, not a fan. Not a fan.
Right. This next song is going to be what would happen if the Motley Crue would never have broke up and Vince didn't go to rehab. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4. You know.
And Tommy had a small peen.
I mean, there was like a fucking
moment of silence there. Jesus. Honestly, we pretty much hit everything I was going to say. I did like the drums. The drums are decent. I'm struggling to remember the end of the song. I have in all caps written "Get this," which I'm thinking he yelled at the end for some reason. Yeah, Tyler's right on. This is getting into hair metal, more glam metal, and more Motley Crue, and that's again. If I'm wanting to listen to that, sure, I might throw this on and enjoy it, but I'm not. If I'm listening to anything related to Alice in Chains, it ain't gonna be this.
All right. That was I almost forgot what song we were on. What you gonna do? Buckles. Brother. Give me a rank, brother.
Mine is a solid 5. 5 even.
5 for TY.
We said rank, not peen size.
Wow. Wow.
Zing.
Well, joke's on you, Nate. I got a slush, and you know.
for a peen?
Oh, it's got nerds in it.
Oh,
damn.
A fancy man.
Slushy
Man,
peen nerds.
I'll thank you to not say slushy pea nerds while I'm trying to drink, you asshole.
Say it again while I drink on purpose.
Slushy peen nerds.
Hell yeah.
Buckles, what was your rank for what you gonna do?
I gave it a 7.5. Again, I don't think it's a terrible song, but it's sure as hell not what I'm wanting to listen to.
Nate?
But just, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay.
I need you to take 1 point away from what Buckles has said. I'm giving it a 6.5.
I gave it a flat 7.
Flat 7. Those are like small tittied 7, or what's going on there? Like,
Okay, we've
it's
lost.
a flat
We've
7. Whoa.
We've lost Nate. Okay.
Off the rails. The next song, another song from that set.
I gotta kill a mosquito.
A mosquito? A
No.
mosquito. The wrong band, Nate. We're not doing Nirvana right now.
Oh
Fun
my
fact.
goodness.
Tyler, fun fact, we watched a movie about mosquitoes the other day.
Fuck yeah, we did. It was awesome.
Yes, it was. Watched while we're waiting for Nate, we went over to Dave Linder's house, watched a 1994 movie called Mosquito, featuring Gunnar Hansen of Texas Chainsaw fame. Like B movie of all B movies about people getting eaten by alien blooded mosquitoes. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
We watched it on a projector with a bonfire outside of his house. It was wonderful.
Interesting. Speaking of parasites, social parasite.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We need to stop for a moment and give you that segue. We need to give you a round of applause for that. Dude, that was beautiful.
Oh,
That is deserving of applause.
thank you very much.
Oh shit, there's my mic. I was like, I look very weird. Where's my mic go?
You
Nate's
need
like
that.
a miming masturbation. Like, hey, what? Anyway, that's why you watch the YouTube, folks, so you can see all the awesome
All
videos.
these shenanigans, you can see them firsthand. You don't have to miss
we,
out.
we do a very good visual representation of this audio medium.
Yes, absolutely. And we're all very dapper and well dressed, and we are the hat crew. We always wear the hats.
Indeed.
Social Parasite is another demo from the '88s, and a wild GNR appears. Holy crap! And I wrote this one. It's funny because I believe someone has already said, when you start as a band, you have to sound like somebody before you sound like yourself. I said every band has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, this one I really like.
I like it.
I didn't again, the last few I haven't disliked the songs on their like standing on their own, but yeah.
If we're gonna go and say which one of the '88 demos is the best one, I think it's this one.
I agree.
And the last thing from my notes is Yabba Dabba Doobie.
That's not what he says.
What does he say?
Dibba dabba dabba doo bow.
Yes. The lyrics of this are almost punk.
Mm-hmm.
Like in their tone and their delivery, in the like subject matter, almost it is almost a punk song in its own right. Completely yelling, "Well, fuck off" every 30 seconds.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's what got me.
like, yeah, this is very not quite Sex Pistols, but it's very very 80s punk, very Mohawk made out of Elmer's glue and Kool-Aid in the back corner somewhere. Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Nate.
I really dig this song. I think it has some really cool parts. I like the riggy dum digga dum ba doo bow, whatever he said, Doug Dimmadome or whatever it is. Like from Fairly Odd Parents.
I just imagine this, like, in Back to the Future, where they get on the phone, it's like, "This is the sound you've been looking for," and it's Dave Draymond on the other end.
Why?
So I really enjoy the chorus of this song. Like it just hits really nice. It got a nice hook. It's heavy. It does have that punk vibe. Yeah, the song's jamming. I'm about it.
The drums are actually pretty cool too. Actually,
Ty, what you got for me?
I'll be brief here. I love the lyrics, and the song was very catchy.
Awesome. What did you rank it, Ty?
8.0.
You
said
actually,
with a challenge.
you actually fooled me there for a second. I typed the point and went, oh, that's just gonna. Nate, what'd you rank it?
I gave it a very even 7, right up and down.
And Buckles.
I'm gonna split the difference. 7.5.
Me too. 7.5 for me as well. The next song, it's a live track. It's a song they wrote and performed once, at least once, in Texas. Queen of the Rodeo. I have a one line of notes. I don't know what to say about this one. I really don't.
Yeah.
I get it that they're having fun for a live crowd. But it's on here and it's a track. And we have to rank it. If Love Song was an actual listed track, we would have ranked it and it would have been awful. But this is here. I don't like it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. TY, I'm passing the fucking baton to you.
As far as my notes, let's start with the first one. Why? Second one, could have picked anything else. Third one, just an overall odd choice. Like, dude, I'm totally with you, Brandon. For sure, you're in front of a big live crowd. You're having a good time. It's in Texas. It's hot. Everybody's probably got their shirts off. Woo! You know, it's pullet time. Mullets are flowing. The Coors Light's cracked. The bush is the whole shebang.
Wait, well, what is the bush doing? Is it just free? You didn't say. You just
you got to think of the time.
flowing.
It's in office.
The bush is flowing.
The bush is in office at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The bush is
Hey, Kuwait. But
wait right there.
Kuwait right there. Anyway, sorry. This one's not good either. It's bad. Ruby, what? Oh.
Nice hair, Ruby. Wow. I kind of like that Tyler's take on the song is he's not mad, he's just disappointed.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you could have put anything else. You could have put another like GNR cover, and I would have been happy with it. This, I'm just not. Like, I get it.
Like,
why waste the albums? Why waste the track space?
I looking at my notes here, and it's like, well, there's some serious tonal shifts in this. Like, it goes from like jangly country to like something else entirely in the chorus, and then back and forth, back and forth. I put something along the lines, this is hilarious, but what the fuck even is this? Like, what are they trying to do? Like, it makes me think of, I don't know how many of you guys listen to Dead Kennedys. There's a live version of their song they do called Night of the Living Rednecks, where it's just them dicking with the crowd and playing country ass shit just because they're in a like country setting for a change. They're just fucking with the crowd. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. It's kind of representative of what they were doing at the time, maybe. But I can see the justification of putting it on the album to give that sense of, well, this, if you went to an Alice in Chains show in whatever time frame this is probably what you would hear than dicking around.
Well, I mean,
it's not all heroin and horrible stories. It's sometimes Lane's just being jackass.
Well, like the whole point of putting it out was that they had a recording of it. And this is about putting out stuff that hadn't been released. And sometimes that's not always the best stuff, but it's new and it hasn't been heard by the masses.
Right.
And
I mean,
yeah.
By that same logic, you could have put a track on here that was, Jerry Cantrell tuning his guitar, and that probably wouldn't have been that out of place consistently with this.
Okay, so Eddie Van Halen did that, where like he tuned or hit a piano with a hammer on some album. Nate, help me. I can't. Was that on Balance?
Oh, I can't remember. It was bad. No. Yeah. Well, It was on Balance, though. It was recorded in '83.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like it just sounds.
It was
like
an
he's
old
just-
track.
He's just taking he's taking a hammer and smacking a piano string with it, and it's out of tune. And that he does that for a minute and a half, and then that's an actual track. That is a track we had to rank.
Speaking as a Jimi Hendrix and Beatles fan, I guarantee you there are entire albums of shit like that's been released in the last 5 years.
Probably, but it wasn't good. I mean,
No, but it's a way to make money. So
it is
Strung Out.
strung out. Thank you. And I mean, lost control. They lost control of that one. Nate, Queen of the Rodeo. What do you got to say about it?
I am apparently in the ultra minority here. I fucking love this song. I think I realized that I love you guys as my friends, but you would have hated if Walk Among Us wrote original music, because this sounds very similar to some of the stuff we were writing. I swear to God, like the tonal shifts from it being very soft and light to very hard and punky. I fell in love with this song first time I heard it. I listened to it 7 times in a row. Like, I know, here's one thing. Biggest thing I took away from this song, other than that I love it. Not in 2022. You can't sing this song in 2022 at a crowd.
No, you cannot. No, there's a line. Yep.
And also, it would have been all over YouTube. Lane Staley says the F-bomb on live on stage in Dallas, But of course, context, right? This song was written in a different era, and I think it just has a vibe. And my favorite part is it's got this country thing, and then they do the ultra punk thing where they still get a fuck you in, and then still kick it back. Like, come on, it's a musician flexing their fucking dick and saying, look at what I can do. I can play 2 tonally different, absolutely diametrically opposing styles, and you're probably gonna enjoy it. I know I did. Y'all don't necessarily sound like you're on the same boat, but that's okay.
Would you rank it, Nate?
A 9.
Jesus Christ. And I thought Buckles was the king of unpopular opinions.
It used to
we'll
be
see
me.
I will cede the throne.
Buckles, bring us back down to reality here.
Well, I'll have you know that reality is a term that I'm not on speaking terms with, so I'm not going to bring you that far back to it. I actually give it a 7. I don't hate the song. I don't dislike it even that much. I like it for the fact that it's silly and dumb and just a jackass moment. But that doesn't make it a good song. So I'm not going to give it a 9 by any stretch, but I'll give it a 7.
TY
4.25.
And the air just went out of Nate.
It's not, mate.
No,
I'm sorry, man. It wasn't good, dog.
I don't disagree with you at all. I understand where you're coming from.
I give it a 3.5.
Thank you, man. Actually, change mine, Brandon.
Yeah,
3.5.
3.5.
Do I
My
need
man.
to change mine to a 10 just to fucking reverse flex? What the fuck? I feel like that was an intentional tanking shit.
No.
Okay, so like, do you think it's
It just
worthy
sucked.
of a 10? Do you
No, it's not. It's clearly not worthy of a fucking 10, bro. I'm being facetious. I'm not changing my shit. I just really enjoyed it. And again,
Facetious, will you call me?
part of my headspace in this was like it was the unreleased final album of Alice in Chains that I never knew I needed.
Like, it actually makes me think of back in college, dicking around with some of my buddies. We decided to do a one-off punk band. We never went anywhere. We just dicked around with it. We were all going to play a different instrument. Like, everybody was going to pick something completely different, and we were going to like just cover songs that were public domain as fucked up as we could, just to say that we could. And that's, to me, what this is. Is it good? Is it bad? It's not really anything, but it's interesting.
But it shouldn't be public. So the,
Well,
the next
well, yeah.
Okay, so I was talking with somebody at work the other day that said that they had a brother who had a band, and the band name was called Government Cheese.
Oh, yeah, that government cheese.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
One of my
It
favorite
was a punk band.
one of my favorite bits of trivia was, as a complete aside, that goofy punk idea we came up with. we were going to name the band the Killer Shrews because it was again a public domain name, an old 50s like crappy B movie. Here at off campus, there's a place called Amused Clothing. Tyler, you might know it actually. We actually found a T-shirt that had the poster for the Killer Shrews like years after the fact.
That's cool.
Found a shirt on there, and it was like a kid's small. You have to buy this. So somewhere that exists.
Fellow Rank 'em All host from Van Halen, Joe Grimes, he has a band name that he wants to use someday called Lethargic Boner.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I don't want to, but I can see
I
that.
hate to say it, but I've been there. So the next song.
If I had the energy to walk off this show right now,
Don't worry, we'll get you there.
The next track.
I hope not.
The next track that we're ranking, guys, is "Killing Yourself."
If only.
Tyler did that at the beginning.
Yep, Seppuku. He. This is the last, I believe, of the 88 GNR sessions, and I wrote in my notes it's high energy and riffage and solos, but it's kind of on par with just what they've already done in this style. Like it doesn't to me. I feel like Social Parasite is the best one out of these, and the rest of them kind of all blend together.
Yep.
For that. So Nate, I'll let you go first. Hopefully, you got better taste this time around.
Not a fan of this song. This is the one that just like it has a couple catchy seconds, but for the majority of it, I'm just like, I don't want to listen to this song again. Like replayability is a huge part when I'm ranking songs. If I go back to a song 5 times before I've ranked it, obviously there's something about that song that my fucking ear holes are about. But if I'm like, piss in my mouth, it tastes bad. You know, like that's for real though. You know, like,
Can we stop killing Brandon?
We are gonna just clip that and put it online without any context. If you just put piss in my mouth, it tastes bad.
Well, yep.
Words of wisdom.
Well, hold on. Can we make that the new intro for all the JIC stuff? Like all the JIC instead of the what on earth
Tastes
is
bad.
that? Welcome to Journey into Comics Network. Piss in my mouth, tastes bad.
Pop your head back, put some piss in your mouth, it'll taste bad.
yeah, that's all I have. I don't like this song.
Well, your brains are shit, your mouth will piss. Yay.
Buckles, what you got?
You kind of hit it with like how aggressive it is. It's manic in spots, still a little poppy, and then it just kind of ends. Like the song just is like it just kind of is over, and it's indicative of everything pretty much on this that we're ranking today. Is it's just forgettable. Like the song, I was over this song before it finished, and I'm like, I almost had to restart it because I'd forgotten what I was listening to. I stopped caring halfway through.
That's fair.
Yeah, like it's like.
So I'm going to be the black sheep here because the first time I listened to this song, my angry offspring's here, so she might yell. The first time I listened to this song, I actually really enjoyed it. And then when I went back on listen 2, listen 3, the second half of this song just kind of falls apart. To me anyway. The notes that I have for it, good tempo, the song's kind of catchy, it's a fun, quick song, but man, does it just fall apart. And some of the vocals kind of feel weird. So I'll tell you what I ranked it initially. I gave it like an 8.75. It's not the same now. I'm not a fan.
All right, what'd you give it then, bud?
I gave it a 5.15 or a 2.5. Sorry.
Yeah, that is a drop. That is a drop. Buckles, what'd you give this one?
The last line I had on my notes were, "This is a song that exists." Give it a 6.
It exists.
Yes, this is a song they recorded. Moving on.
Nate,
5.75. Move on, please.
5.7. I almost gave it a 53 instead of.
Please don't.
Wow, these got skewed somehow.
I gave it another flat 7. It just doesn't stand out.
We get to the wrap-up show. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest song in the history of fucking Alice in Chains, you fucks, is Killing Yourself. Get over it.
Fear the Voices is the single from this album.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
And this is one of the new ones that had not been released before. At least I don't think it was ever released before. It could have been like Get Born Again, and it could have been somewhere else. But this was one of the 4 new ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, yeah, 4 new ones. I'm sorry. 4 new ones, but this wasn't one of the ones that was recorded new. It had been recorded before. And for this one, man, it's got a badass riff. I really like the riff, but it's also, and I'm usually someone who defends this kind of thing, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all, because this is something that I don't necessarily think is bad for a band to do, as long as it's well done. This song sounds weirdly mainstream. Like, it sounds like it's almost like it was kind of catered towards that, and then it gets a little like, it's like I don't know. It's like, were they trying to just be kind of weird and catchy with the doo-doos part and woo-woos part? And
I kind of wonder if somebody said, "Hey, we need a single for this if we're going to release the CD."
Well,
write me a single.
Well, it was done before though, and it was never released. So it makes you wonder when and where how it was released. Maybe I can look up at that. Buckles, why don't you go and I'll look up. Oh, here it is. I already got it. I'm sorry. I'm fast.
That boy fast. He fast as fuck, boy.
Fear the Voices is an outtake from Dirt, recorded in '92. The song,
really?
It would remain unreleased until '99 and released on Music Bank as a promotional single.
That's weird because that doesn't fit anywhere on that album. Like I can't see like the tone of this song fitting anywhere within that track listing.
Cantrell said that another cool song from that demo for the Crow movie, that the single
that I could see.
Fuck, you beat me to it, man. I was gonna say this was written for a soundtrack, and you
that I could see.
I'm sorry. Thinking about it now, that was a fruitful tape. We got Wood for that movie and part of Sap. We started on Dirt. So the tune itself was a good song, but we were just turning to the height of our blackness.
As far as notes I had, it's really poppy. It's really choppy, which isn't bad.
Yeah,
I think that's what gives it that mainstream vibe to it. It is very poppy. It's got like this weird like anti-TV lyrical message to it. It seemed like the bridge is kind of odd. Like there's some weird transitioning in that. It's just kind of off-putting. And the drums to me sounded like muted almost. Like there was something weird going on with the drums I really did not care for. Like there was something muted or something like just the way they were recorded or mic'd was just very odd to me.
TY, what you got to say about Fear the Voices?
So, man, I feel like I'm just beating this compilation album up, but man, way to start off flat. Towards the end of the song, it starts to get enjoyable for me. Not my favorite either.
Nate.
Fear the Voices has that. I love that little thing. Whatever's happening in there is cool.
Is Hollywood Hogan coming down the set of
I mean, I
Monday
guess.
Night Nitro and Voodoo Child? What was that?
That was a loose effort. Okay, fuck you. It was a loose effort.
With the edge of my hand.
Yeah. So I think that it's a strong effort. As I was, you were getting to it and said the thing about the Crow, but man, I had felt it. I was like, this sounds like it was written with you guys talk about poppy commercial. Anytime I hear that out of a band, I'm thinking it's for a movie. It's definitely something for a soundtrack or something like that.
Well, it wasn't for the movie The Crow. It was a movie directed by the director Cameron Crowe. It's called Singles, and that's where they ended up. Yeah, no.
Good movie, too.
I wanted to clarify that this wasn't like
Yeah.
Brandon Lee here.
Okay, I'll say
No,
weird.
Signals is a really good soundtrack and a good movie too.
But I think it's time for some ranks. I gave it. I'll go first with the ranks. I gave this one a 7.5. Nate, what'd you give it?
7.25, right in the zone, bro.
And Ty.
I am sitting at a 5.
5. And Buckles.
7.25, right there with Nate.
Right on. The next song is another one of the new ones. But just like Fear the Voices wasn't recorded just like for this. This song is called Lying Season. And my notes say that fucking riff. That riff in the end. Damn. Overall, I feel like the song's pretty underrated. And it gets close to like classic Alice in Chains. Like it gets pretty close. Maybe it doesn't quite get there, and maybe I'm just like at this point reaching for something that's like a resemblance of really good from them, and I feel like this gets kind of close. Nate, I'll let you go first.
Man, I thought Lying Season was like a catchy little riff, but there wasn't any substance for me that I like latched on and went back to and did multiple listens. Like the going like the pre-chorus chorus bits cool and all. It kind of reminds me of that, like, I don't know, I guess it would be like late 90s stoner rock move where they do the weird slow down, like pull it back mode and give you with the emotion and all that. But not my favorite track from Music Bank. Not one I'll put in my spank bank for sure. I'm just gonna say it was all right. It was all right.
You know, it was only a moment of time. It was only a matter of time until we got to somebody making a spank bank joke here.
Come on.
And yeah.
To be fair. Yeah. TY, we'll hit you next, bud.
For audio listeners, he's shaking his head fucking no right now.
It stops right here. I stopped beating him up right here. Okay. Because you know what? That 90s stoner rock that Nate's talking about, that's my shit.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking jam song. Okay. The song jams, and it jams well. And that's what I have to say about it.
For those of you who just listened to the audio, the expression on his face as he said that, he's serious about his jams.
Yeah, I love jams. Slick jams.
He's right. There's a little bit of clutch to this, a little bit of that stoner rock, which is really something I enjoy as well. I'm not as huge a fan of the song. I love the riff. It's a really cool, aggressive riff. The fade out seems kind of out of place somehow. Like it just seems like they just kind of tacked that on towards the end. They didn't know how to end the song, so just fade it out.
See, that's what I kind of thought too.
Yeah, like kind of 90s boy band shit. But we don't know how to end the song. Just fade it out a bunch of times. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not memorable. Like to me, I just kind of that I listened to that. Move on.
All right, what'd you give it, Buckles?
I give it a 6.
6. And TY.
7.75.
And Nate.
6.5.
I gave it an 8.
My man.
The next track, What the Hell Have I? This is from a soundtrack, I do believe.
I think that's true.
Let me find it.
This is one that I know I've heard before outside of Music Bank.
Last Action Hero.
There you go.
We have 2 tracks from Last Action Hero, and it's the next 2. What the Hell Have I is, I wrote, Inagata Davida meets Heart-Shaped Box meets the Sounds of Egypt.
I like that. Good. That's good.
Dude, you hear it, and I'm like, are they going Inagata Davida? And then I'm like, no, they're going something else. And I'm like,
in the Garden of Eden, baby.
And my next line is, tell me why I like the song as much as I do. I can't really explain it. It's got a different vibe. It's got a completely different vibe from what you'd expect from Alice in Chains, especially with that kind of weird Middle Eastern twanginess to it. But I kind of like it, and I dig the weirdness and the catchiness. The Buckles, you're giving me a little bit of a Clint Eastwood squint, so I'll go to you.
Actually, I dug it quite a bit. Point of fact, you mentioned that it doesn't seem like Alice in Chains to you. This felt like a return to form, like the first time since really since Get Born Again that it sounded like Alice in Chains to me.
Well,
And-
it does sound like Alice in Chains. What I'm saying is that they're kind of deviating a little bit from their norm
Right.
to experiment with a little bit of a style that making it fit into their own. And I'm digging it. I actually like that.
It actually reminds me a lot of when they got really weird in Dirt, like Godsmack, and when they were like, okay, we're just gonna throw some shit at the wall and see if this works, and we're gonna make it our style, and it works really well. The cool thing to me is that you can tell this was recorded at a later date because that same idea of throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, just being experimental, is what they were trying with the '88 shit, and it didn't work. Now they're coming back with a lot more experience, a lot more knowledge of where their riff is, like where their groove is, and really hitting it right on key. So I mean, I love this. It felt like Alice in Chains. The opening riff's really cool. There's a bit of like clockwork type to it, like kind of a metronome, like kind of a tick 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 thing. I really liked. Yeah, I dug it quite a bit actually.
Right on, Nate.
Oh man, What the Hell Have I is a cool track because it does have some signature Alice in Chains vibes to it. I love Lane's vocals in it. I think he's opened up and is singing in his pocket zone. I really wish they would have just got him the fuck to rehab. Because this is where like you rebuild the strength of your band on this song. Like, hey, check out how good this is. We can do this again, bro.
This feels like what could have been the next step for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The evolution of AIC is in this song, and it just fucking blows me that we never got there. That was the weirdest thing ever. Oh my God. Probably won't ever happen, especially not on the video viewer side because you guys aren't me. But right now, the way I have my boxes set up, I've got get the fuck out of here, cat. Go, bro. Go, Biss. Oh, and you're stanking. Get dog. Wow. Had to throw him off Hell in the Cell. Anyways, where was I? Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Wasn't aware your cat was named Mick Foley.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, but AIC had this like I don't know. I lost my train of thought, guys.
Basically, I think you were saying that they had an opportunity here. If they had gotten Lane on a better path, to basically come into the second half.
This is what we could have gotten.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it's just disappointing because there's so much left on the table. This is just like the taste that never was,
Yeah.
It's like the last slurp. But what I was going to say before the cat thing happened, I remembered now, it was because you grabbed your Slurpee. Buckles had a drink and he's on my bottom left side and he put his drink in his left hand and set it down, which was at where Tyler starts. And as he did that, Tyler picked up his Slurpee and took a fucking drink. It was so weird.
Thanks, Alex. I was thirsty.
Anytime.
All right.
I could go for a slushy with some nerds in it. That sounds awesome.
Has everybody
Pineapple beer is tasty, but
Has everybody had anything to say about what the hell have I? I don't know who has talked.
I have not, but I don't have anything to add.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So we want to start with ranks. TY, we'll start with you, then a rank. Then what'd you rank it, bud?
Solid 6.
6. And Nate?
Add 1.
7. And Buckles?
Add 1. 8.
And 8.
Sorry.
I wish I could keep it going, but I don't. It's 8.25 from me.
Yeah,
It's 0.25.
It's my highest rank on the entire collection of unreleased stuff. Like I
can agree with that.
I just really dug it. It was kind of different and neat. The next track is also from the Last Action Hero soundtrack. A little bitter, and I'm not as pleased with this one. It's got some cool bass lines, but it feels kind of erratic at points. Vocals have a little to be desired here for me. And I just kind of felt like this song is completely passable. It passes as a song, but that's about as much as it. Like it's kind of like what Buckle said earlier. They recorded it. It exists, and here it is. It's Alice in Chains doing a song, and it doesn't quite reach anywhere near their potential, and it's there.
Definitely not.
But I'll start with TY this time. Do you have anything to add to what I've said?
Well, I have something that I yes, I do. Yes, I do, Brandon. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having a stroke again. I think that a lot like the last song, this song had a lot of potential, and then the vocals just come out of nowhere. And my notes, and I'm not exaggerating here, this is what I wrote down on the first listen of the song. The vocals ruin the song. Like all these opportunities that we've had up until this point through rank, every time that there is a vocal harmony or Lane is doing his thing or Jerry's doing his thing, like we always take a lot of time out of the discussion to point out, because that's essentially what makes Alice in Chains who they are. And then you listen to this and it's like, come on, man. You guys you're discrediting yourself, to me anyway. Obviously, this is kind of like you're spitting on your own name here, because this is not good stuff. I've heard house party shit that's not like, I would turn this off if you turned it on. I did not like it at all.
Buckles.
Not a whole lot to add. The up tempo is not bad. The term bitter kind of fits the lyrics. It is spiteful. It is bitter. I like the drums, but other than that, it is really forgettable. The thing that kind of was like kind of digging at me or kind of messing with me as I was listening to it, you mentioned how it is kind of chaotic and there's a weird bass line and it seemed like out of sorts. For some reason, I don't know if I'm completely off base on this at all, I was getting fucking Mudvayne Dig vibes from the bass line on this. Something about this, like the dun 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 dun, like something about that.
Nate always just comes in with the sound effect. He's been practicing that for like 15 years.
Yep, you know it, bro.
Just wait.
Thank you, Stoner Bobby McFerrin. Jesus
God,
Christ.
he's just waiting. Motherfucker comes out of a closet. Hey, man, did you say dig? He's like waiting around a tree. Like
he's like the dude. He's the dude from Police Academy, just with metal riffs.
Hit me.
Like, instead of doing like a helicopter sounds, he's just doing bass lines from Mudvayne.
Prince impressions.
Oh God.
Oh.
Nate, do you have anything to add to a little bit? Or?
I'm a little over it. Yeah, boom, boom, wow, boom, boom, wow. That's what I'm gonna add to it. Made the song better. Just there, just then. The song is automatically better.
No, here's Nate's notes. Needs more boom, boom, wow.
Boom, boom, wow.
Yes, it says boom, boom, wow. That's how it sounds in my head. Boom, boom, wow.
Wow.
Great. So you're a Black Eyed Pea. Fantastic.
It's more like brum, brum, gow. I don't know. I'm just fucking making. I'm making noises now.
Went off the rails. We got one song left, and we just can't pull it together.
What did you
Come on,
rank?
you apes.
What'd you rank it, Nate?
6.5.
Samesies. 6.5 for me as well. TY, what'd you give it?
4.5.
4.5. And Buckles.
Needs more boom, boom, wow. 6.
6. Last song, fellas. The last song that Lane Staley recorded with Alice in Chains is called "Died." And
that's not
Fucked up, bro. And then
It is
also,
fucked up.
it's wild that with the music bank things that we're ranking, we started with "Get Born Again" and we're
Yep.
ending with "Died." It's like the perfect final chapter for Lane. It's
so,
wild.
My notes here, as I'm a little somber, as now we've reached the end, I guess, of the Lane Staley era. AIC meets COC.
Oh, a
With
corrosions of conformity call.
Dude,
Nice.
This
Yes.
The guitars on this is stoner rock anthem feel. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I love the guitars on this song. It's
That's
awesome.
good stuff.
But then the vocals, kind of like what TY was saying earlier on like an earlier song, it kind of misses.
It leaves something to be desired.
But it's funny because then when I hear it and the vocals, like, I mean, come on, it could be worse. Could be something completely worse. But it does kind of sound like instead of like that riff sounds like this song should be better than what it is. And it doesn't quite get there. Instead, it sounds like another song that belongs on a late 90s soundtrack.
This sounds like it should have been on the self-titled. Like, this is the sound of the self-titled album.
But it's better than that. Because I think the overall sound quality and production sounds better than self-titled. Like,
I agree with that.
I don't really think he sounds as drony here, and I don't think that the guitars sound as like I don't feel like for the majority, not all of the self-titled, but for a lot of the self-titled, the tone is just down. It's hard for me to really describe.
I mean, completely honestly, my notes for this were it's bleak, it's chuggy, it's dull, and it's forgettable.
It is a bit forgettable,
and to me, that's the entirety of what the self-titled album was for the most part. It was very bleak. I mean, in terms of the recording and the engineering, sure, this sounds better than the self-titled. It's mic'd up better. The drums sound better. The guitar sounds less drony, sure, but overall tone of the song itself, not just the recording of it, it's just flat. It's just dull to me.
It's better than Frogs.
I can shit on this microphone. It would be better than Frogs.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point.
TY, you got anything?
I don't really have anything to add. I will say that to me, you know, again, keeping that theme, I think the song was definitely too long.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall, just the length, too much. Cut it back, maybe have a little bit better of a song. To me, even though it was too long, a lot of this song to me kind of felt unfinished in parts. Like maybe this was like the second recording that they did, and it was like, okay, you know, we like this one better, and maybe it would have been, maybe they could have used like one or two more times in the studio to really, you know, to really bring it home. I didn't hate it by any means. Just didn't love it.
I'm sorry. I'm doing my best not to just bust out laughing during your very salient points here, but Nate's over here doing some weird dance.
Nate's always doing weird shit, and it's funny because on my screen, I'm always directly above Brandon. Like, Brandon's right below me. Buckles, you're over here.
Yeah.
Nate's always to my left. So normally when I'm talking, like, I'm looking at Brandon, you know, because Brandon's always got like the audio cues if something's messed up. Then I look over to my left, and Nate's just doing fucked up shit. He's just, you know, he's doing whatever, man. But it's like not on topic, like not paying attention. Like he's paying attention for sure.
He's like, it's like watching. It's like watching.
He's like ADD the guy right now. Like, what are you doing? God.
He's Jeff Hardy. He's Jeff Hardy.
What happened to you?
I just look over and he's just
not like this.
Well, like there was a moment where I thought while Tyler was talking, is Nate listening to the music right now? Is he like, I thought he might have been listening to the song playback because he just.
So, spoiler alert for every rank 'em all I have ever done since I've been in the new house. While we're recording, also have it very low level on Spotify. So it keeps my brain remembering all of why I said what I said. Because I can write shit, and then my high ass is like, why did I write and the bananas have pants in this song?
Why do bananas have pants?
It doesn't make any sense.
Clearly, the bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs.
But are they in pairs?
Why? Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm glad you guys get my warped ass brain.
Oh, God.
Awesome.
God damn. You know, when you're in traffic, when you're sitting in traffic and a traffic light, green means go, yellow means hold on, and red means stop. And bananas,
it's the opposite of bananas.
Then you got yellow means go ahead, green means hold on, and red means where the hell did you get that banana at?
Mitch Hedberg.
Yes.
Where
I
the-
love
where-
it. I love
Where
it.
the hell did you get that red banana at?
Ducks eat for free at Subway.
Subway. Yes, yes. I have not slept for 10 days because that would have been too long.
If I'm ever on a ship that is going down, I will reach for a lime. I will be
Nate.
saved by the buoyancy of citrus.
Nate, do you have a citrusy opinion of the song Died?
No, it's just a sad ending to the Lane era because, like, ominously accurate, you know, like, come on. And they don't know, obviously. And it's
No.
literally it's not like some of these other songs are on the second disc or whatever, disc 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
the
this is
last
track.
the last song, and then he dies, and then they find a new singer,
Sorry, Brandon's right. Yeah.
and it's all different, you know.
Truly.
So
Truly.
it's
But I love it for
Let
what it
Lane-
is now, not for
absolutely,
what it was.
absolutely. And Lane was a legend, bro. And you know, everybody has demons. Everybody fights something.
Yep.
Whether it's depression or anxiety or, you know,
Geese.
PTSD or,
Geese.
you know, geese, bloodhounds, heat-seeking missiles, you know, whatever you're against.
You guys just look up in the sky, and I'm up in the sky, karate and heat-seeking missiles above Ukraine. I'm like, yo,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
get out of here! Back to you, Putin.
I just imagine. I think we've actually gotten video text from Tyler's like, I'm going to go fight God.
I'm gonna go fight God. Yeah, that's all I want to do is fight God. Like, fuck you, man.
just cut to me in the grass punching a goose in the face.
I'm like, can I roll over and we smoke first? If you're gonna die against God, I'd like to have a final smoky.
What do you mean I'm gonna die against God?
Oh,
He's God, bro. Even though he's
Yeah.
not real, like
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I
look
guess
at me,
there's an
dog.
argument though. If he's not real, you're fighting air. So, bro,
got
you
the
just look like you're a
Hawaiian shirt
fucking
on.
crazy person in the fucking middle of California.
I put money on Tyler.
Here, News Channel 5, we look down at the scene of the crime as the perpetrator is still committing acts of violence, and it's just me like fighting vending machines and shit. Yeah.
If not for our ranks, I hope people are entertained by our fucking stupidity, you guys. Because whoa, we're crazy we are wild individuals.
It's like
Oh,
Just picture
that's some good stuff.
Tyler's Dewey Cox in Walk Hard after he's taken PCP, climbed the roof. And he's, I'm Zeus. Dewey, get down from there. Ah!
Ah!
Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want none of this shit.
What if I do? What if I do want this shit?
Well, just like the Dewey Cox story, the wrong kid died. So what's the rank for Died, Nate? 6. Buckles.
6. God in heaven,
Oh,
6.
God damn it. Tyler, do not. 6. God damn it. 6.
Pick up sticks. Is this our first agreed 100% agreed rank? Brandon, are you about to say 6 right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Damn it.
No. Dude, I headbanged to this like on the way home today. Like, as much as the vocals really aren't there, the guitars aren't there enough for me. It reminds me so much of COC and that kind of stuff that I'm like, yeah. I was into it. 7.75 from me, and that does it for the Lane Staley era recordings of Alice in Chains. The collection of new songs from Music Bank for Brando's ranks, for my ranks, 7.04 for Nate, 7.06. Really close. Tyler, 5.81, and Buckles, 6.9.
Nice.
Nice. 6'9"?
Fuck.
Narc. Anyway,
Sorry.
that gives us a master rank of collected new songs,
Oh.
6.72. The highest ranking song here was the first track, 7.4.
Get born again.
Yeah, Get Born Again. I mean, definitely, we were kind of all over the place with this one. There's some songs that all of us kind of liked individually.
It's a compilation. That's what you're gonna have. Yeah.
There's not too many songs that we were 100% like in agreement with our rank on. We were kind of all over the place, but that's fine. But it is a bit sad because, like, as fun as this has been to dive into this era of this legendary band, we're moving on to a new era, an era that we never thought we would ever get, that the band never thought they would do. They thought they were completely done. And they even said at one point, I believe, Sean Kenny said, "Hey, we're going to play again, but we're not going to use the name Alice in Chains." But I guess some point along the way, they decided to, out of salute and honor of what they did. And you know what? It's going to be interesting to get to the next album because it is a different band. But there's hints of what had come before because it's still Jerry. It's still everybody except they got the new guy, and I don't have his name pulled up, so we'll talk about that on the next.
You know what's
episode.
crazy? Hold on. Time out. He is fucking crazy story, actually. We're gonna talk about him really just for 5 seconds right now as I pull him up because he has a famous brother. You guys know this?
No.
Okay, so give me like just a minute here as I pull up the homie.
I'd like to apologize for the fact that I've been coughing for like the last 30 seconds. Nate ranking fucking Queen of the Rodeo like that with a 9 gave me fucking COVID or something apparently.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so William Duvall. Okay.
Yep.
William Duvall. His brother is Robert Duvall.
Oh shit.
That's a pretty significant age jump.
And there is a pretty significant age jump.
Yeah.
That is absolutely factual. Yeah, but they are brothers.
Doesn't it? This is gonna sound earlier. Doesn't he like look like Lenny Kravitz or something too?
So it's the same ma. Same ma.
Okay, as Lenny Kravitz or no?
No, as Robert Duvall, you fuck.
Yeah, it just so happens Lenny Kravitz is also related to Robert Duvall.
Tyler, I'm gonna thank you not to just completely give us serious shit for me to laugh at. Nate's for those of you who are listening to the show, not watching this, Nate looks like he's reading something. Tyler is just.
You guys think I could beat Robert Duvall if I fought him?
Isn't he like?
I think he's dead, bro. So probably.
I don't think Robert Duvall is dead.
No.
If he's not, he's got to be in his 80s, easily 80s. So yes.
He's 91.
And how old is
60 something?
William Duvall is 60?
It's 60?
Let me double check that. He's 54. So there's what, like a 37-year age gap?
Damn.
Yeah. His mom, got a little late tip. I didn't mean for it to sound as padded as it did, calling it the late tip.
Too goddamn late, Nate. It did.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Oh, that's a wrap. We're gonna wrap it up here with Music Bank. Once again, Nate Buckles, TY, thank you for joining us here. I've been Brando here for Rank 'Em All. We have ranked every single song and album that we can find of the Lane Staley era of Alice in Chains. Up next is the next era of Alice in Chains, the more modern era, the era of change. The black gives way to blue. I'm looking forward to it because it is it's a completely different but familiar step. And
it's the Robert Duvall era. Yes.
It's the Duvall era, and
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Here's Brando to all of you at home with a bit of a late tip. Go listen to the next album and join us next week here on Rank 'Em All. Until then, we'll see you then later on, guys. Rock on.
Late tip.